AEW. I think I like it this way. I'll just keep it like this. I don't know if you can hear me or what, but hopefully you can hear me. This is my AEW Revolution 20 Revolution reactions to the women's title match and my reaction to the last 10 to 20 minutes of the main event Iron Man match. Check out those fucking reactions. I would appreciate it. So here we go with my Revolution review. I decided to buy the pay-per-view because I really wanted to see Bryan Danielson and MJF. I really, really wanted to see that matchup. So here we go. And I also the Moxley and Hangman beat the shit out of each other. So that's why I bought the pay-per-view, basically for 2 matches. And some surprises happened. Some shocking upsets that I never thought would happen actually happened. 2 title changes that I didn't think AEW would go through with. And thank God Tony Khan booked the 2 title changes. Because I did not think they were going to happen. So anyways, up first was a pre-show. The 0 hour to Revolution. I didn't watch it, but it happened. This live stream, I believe I pressed to make it public, but if it's not public, who cares? I'll make it public later. I don't even know if I'm fucking live. It says I'm live on my phone. Who knows? So the 0 hour pre-show kickoff had a match I missed. I wasn't home yet to get to see I only saw the last 15 minutes of the pre-show. So here it was. A matchup was a 6-man tag. Mark Briscoe and the Lucha Bros teamed up and defeated Daivari and the Varsity Athletes, Josh Woods and Tony Nese, by pinfall. So the Lucha Bros and Mark Briscoe win on the pre-show to Revolution. The match went 12 minutes, 50 seconds. Again, I did not see it, but I like the team of Mark Briscoe with the Lucha Bros because, sadly, Mark Briscoe lost his brother. So, up next, maybe we could have in the future, I think this would be good. In the future, we could have Mark Briscoe and the Lucha Bros for the Trios Championship. If my voice is not synced up with the video, I apologize. It's a live stream is fucking up. My speech is not coming out at the right time. I blame the live stream. It's not my internet. My internet is good. It's YouTube. So anyways, again, I like Mark Briscoe and the Lucha Bros in the future to challenge the new Trios champion. The new Trios champions. So now the pay-per-view kicked off with a very hot crowd. Looked like a lot more people were in San Francisco and came to the Cow Palace. They decided to come for the pay-per-view. Many did not show up for Dynamite and Rampage. I don't know how many were there or paid, but I hope it was 10,000. Maybe it was more. So anyways, to kick it off, we had Ricky Starks taking on Chris Jericho. I thought it was pretty good, but that was because Ricky Starks carried Jericho. He carried him. And the Jericho Appreciation Society was banned. Then why the fuck did Sammy Guevara start coming to the ring? What the fuck? I don't get that. Like, why? I don't get it. Why did Sammy come to the ring? The ref did not see him. They were banned. So why the fuck was he allowed to come down? But then he got attacked out of nowhere by Action Andretti attacked Sammy Guevara. And then, anyways, I was afraid. I seriously was afraid that Jericho was going to win. He should have not. Ricky Starks is the future of AEW, one of the futures. He had to go over. Ricky Starks wins. Thank God. That was a great start to the show. Maybe I can turn this sideways, or it'd probably just fuck it up. I don't know. I'll just keep it like this. It's like straight up. But I want to turn my camera sideways. Whatever, who cares? So that was great. Great start. I'm glad Ricky Starks won. Thank fucking God. I'm not a fan of Jericho. He needs to go away and retire. And my God, I hate him as a commentator. He does not, when he retires, he does, oh my God, he should not be a commentator. When he retires, he's horrible. He's worse than anybody in wrestling I can think of. He's worse than, definitely worse than Corey Graves. Worse than Wade Barrett. Worse than anybody else that I know of. Jericho absolutely sucks on commentary, and his in-ring work is not very good anymore. At all. He's lost it. If we had a match with like Sting against Jericho, I guarantee you Sting over 60 would look better than Jericho. Up next, we had a grudge match. A final burial match between Jungle Boy and Christian Cage. I thought it was like, at first I thought it was no, it's barred, but it was like no rules anyway. Like just about almost every match in AEW is no rules. They're trying to be ECW badly. I know Tony Khan was a mark for these 3 letters. I know you were, Tony Khan, a big mark for ECW. I was. ECW absolutely hooked me in 99 when I got their first pay-per-view I ever saw. Or first one I ordered. First ECW pay-per-view I ever saw was WrestlePalooza at a friend's house. WrestlePalooza 98. First ECW pay-per-view I ordered was Living Dangerously 99. And I was absolutely hooked. And just absolutely hooked on ECW after I saw Living Dangerously. And obsessed with it. But Tony Khan seems like a lot of the time, with your referees not following rules, all the bloodshed, all the guys bleeding, even the women. Ruby Soho bled a lot on Rampage, I think in January. It seems like Tony Khan is trying to make AEW a new ECW a lot of the time. But if I ran a company, I would probably be guilty of doing that too. But every time I see blood or bras in the crowd and the referees ignoring it, I always think there's Tony Khan trying to be ECW again. And if you couldn't tell, I was the ECW mark. I bought this fucking flag last year. This giant flag. Maybe you can see it more if I do that. So there it is. So back to, again, I don't know if that turning the camera sideways fucks up the live stream, but I don't care. I got it back straight up now. So Jungle Boy, Jack Perry, Christian Cage had a banger. I enjoyed the hell out of it. They brawled in the crowd. Christian looked like he got busted open the hard way. And Jungle Boy, there were Christian opened the casket at one point. There were chairs inside of the casket. And anyways, Jungle Jack Perry wins. That's awesome. I thought he should win. Jungle Jack Perry, in my opinion, a future singles champion, maybe someday a world champ. It really sucks. His dad is not here to see him grow as a performer and get better. The show's in California, San Francisco. His dad was, I believe, living in LA. Anyways, I'm sure Luke Perry would have been there tonight. Very tragic. He passed away. He was young. I believe he's in his 50s. And man, I was a fan of Luke Perry. I loved him in 90210. Great actor also. So, yeah, Jungle Boy throws Christian in the casket, and then he slams the casket shut, and it falls down like to hell. That was pretty damn funny. How it fell down into the stage. It was probably on like hydraulics or something. Next, we get the 6-man tag team AEW World Trios Championship. House of Black challenging the Elite. The fucking stupid Young Bucks. I hate them. And Kenny Omega. I do not hate Kenny. I think he's really good. So, yeah, thank God. Thank fucking God. I was shocked. I was surprised. Finally, Tony Khan put his damn foot down and said the Elite is losing the Trios titles. Thank God. It was a nice surprise. That was not predictable. I did not think Black had a fucking chance in hell. But they did. House of Black wins. Really good 6-man. It was action-packed. Win 18 minutes. Julia Hart got involved. She's on the apron. Kenny V triggered her. She fell to the floor. That was pretty cool. And Julia Hart, my God, she looked hot. She looked great in her outfit. But she would look good in anything. She would look good in a potato sack up to her neck. She would still look good. So anyways, I'm a fan of Julia Hart. If you could not tell, she's great. Up next, we had the 3-way for the AEW Women's title. This is my first live stream, doing a review. I don't know, probably in like 2 to 3 years, maybe. It's been a long time. Anyways, my channel's mostly wrestling videos, or I talk about some movies, like countdown top 10 or top 50 movies, and video game uploads. That's my channel. If you're not a fan of pro wrestling, AEW, WWE, or video games, you don't want to be here, I guess. If you like my channel and enjoy it, I thank you very much for watching. So that is, again, a great surprise. Great outcome. House of Black, the new Trios champions. Finally. Tony Khan, finally you're booking House of Black and Malachi the right way. You should have booked them like this over a year ago. But maybe there were no Trios championships, I don't think, a year ago. And Brody King, holy shit. He's underrated. He's damn good. Up next, as I said, 3-way for the AEW Women's title. Jamie Hayter, I love her. She's defending against Ruby Soho and formerly Paige Saraya. This was pretty good. It wasn't too long. It wasn't too short. It was just about the right amount of time, I thought. The entrances were rushed, I felt, for the women. Feels like maybe, I don't know, 1 or 2 matches were rushed. because of the long Iron Man match they were putting on later in the main event. But this pay-per-view was under 4 hours, the right amount of time, and none of the matches felt too long. Welcome to whatever, YouTube chat. Yeah, nobody's fucking here to chat. Or else I would say what's up or answer whatever you're writing, or I would read it. YouTube gave me a message, said welcome to the chat. Who gives a shit? Anyways, I appreciate you watching if you are. But I don't care about the chat if no one's here. So anyways, where was I? Yeah, women's three-way. The shortest match on the pay-per-view, 10 minutes. Only 10 minutes. But that's okay. The women's match could have went a little bit longer, but it was 10 minutes. And Jamie Hayter wins. But then we have a heel turn. A swerve, kind of, at the end. Jamie Hayter wins, retains. That's great. That's the right call. That's how I would have booked it. After, Ruby throws out Toni Storm, throws out Saraya. Ruby's in the ring with excuse me while I belch. That's what soda does to me. With originals. Ruby's in the ring with AEW originals. Britt Baker, Jamie Hayter. Jamie's not an original, but she's been there like well over a year. Anyways, she wasn't with another major company before AEW, so Jamie is an original in my opinion. But Britt is like the longest original. I think she was the first ever signing of AEW. But yeah, Ruby's in the ring with Jamie, Britt, like she's standing by them. But no, she kicks Jamie in the damn head, turns on her, beats up Britt. In come Toni and Saraya. They beat up Britt and Jamie. Get the green spray paint like you're you got billions of dollars, Tony Khan, in the company. You can't afford better fucking darker green spray paint. You can't afford better spray paint. The spray paint you use is like faded as hell. That's stupid. Like, I don't know. Get a darker color green spray paint, for God's sakes. It's so faded you can barely see the L's. Anyways, they spray paint Ruby and Saraya. Ruby and Toni spray paint L's on the chest of Jamie and Britt. So I think Jamie and Britt are going to need a third woman to help them, and I think it should be Thunder Rosa when she returns. But that is great. Jamie Hayter's still the champ. The heel turn I didn't like at first, but then I liked it after it happened. Up next, we had the up next we had Texas Death Match. Texas Death. Not for the TNT title. It was a Texas Death Match. Hangman Page against Jon Moxley. This was fucking extreme, hardcore, insane, wild. This was just violence personified. It was awesome. I enjoyed the hell out of it. Both guys bled. And, God, Moxley had a fork. He started becoming John the Butcher Moxley. And he starts spiking Hangman Page. I think he was in a submission. I think Moxley had Hangman like a triangle choke with his legs. And he started just jabbing Hangman with the fork over and over in the forehead. Hangman's blood splattered. It was all over Moxley's chest. That was insane. That was a great look. Looked like he was in a living, breathing horror movie. Moxley had Hangman's blood all over his chest. A lot of barbed wire used. We had barbed wire boards, barbed wire chairs. Hangman put barbed wire on his forearm. He was just hitting Moxley with a barbed wire forearm. He power bombed Moxley broke one of the chairs with barbed wire on it. That was sick. Lucky Moxley didn't hit the back of the top of the chair. He could have broke his back. His wife, backstage, Renee, was probably watching like this. I felt bad for Renee, actually, having to watch it. But she knows what she got into. She knows Moxley loves hardcore matches. Anyways, this was damn good. I enjoyed it. It was a war. It was a fucking war. Hangman Page wins. That was kind of shocking. Win 24 minutes, 45 seconds. Up next, we had TNT Championship. Wardlow, Samoa Joe. By submission. This was another shocker, like the trios tag titles. This was another shocker. Wardlow wins the TNT title back. Submitting, tapping out Samoa Joe. 10 minutes and 4 seconds only. Now we had a fatal 4-way next for the AEW tag titles. The Guns defending against the Acclaim. Jay Lethal and Jeff Jarrett and Orange Cassidy and Danhausen. This was a fun 4-way. I didn't like who won, and the crowd didn't like it. But the crowd booed the Guns out of the arena. They got booed like crazy. But after it was damn good. Anyways, the Guns retained, but after was the best part of the match. Because FTR, Dax, and Cash are back. FTR's back. I don't know when their contract's up. Maybe the end of April. I don't know. Maybe they signed a new contract today. I don't fucking know. But Tony Khan decided to bring them back. I don't know what they're going to do when they're free agents. Again, I don't know if they sign a new deal or they want to be free agents for WWE and Triple H. We'll throw a ton of money at them, I believe, to try to get them back. And Dax of FTR said they have a pretty damn good relationship with Triple H, but they wouldn't want to go back if they know Vince is in power of creative. And why would they? Why would you put your career in the hands of a 78-year-old man? I wouldn't. I wouldn't want to. So anyways, the Guns retain. FTR returns to a big pop and they take out the Guns. Dax got busted open somehow. I don't know how, but he got busted open. Now the main event. Iron Man match. 60 minutes for the AEW World title. I don't have the words. What can you say about this? My goodness. I don't have the words to describe how awesome and good it was. Very good match. Very good AEW pay-per-view main event. Bryan Danielson, MJF. He had the Dragon against the Devil. Bryan got his left shoulder worked over a lot of the match. MJF got his fucking left leg just hammered and kicked over and over, thrown on the ring post against it. MJF was limping, could barely stand. Bryan got busted open a little, and then his blood just sweated away. And then Bryan hit MJF before that hit an elbow drop off the top through a table, threw Bryan on the floor. After that, Bryan hit a diving headbutt, busted open MJF. Busted him open. He's bleeding like crazy. Crazy blood loss. A ton of blood loss from MJF. He's bleeding so much, at one point I thought, this is going to turn into Eddie Guerrero at Judgment Day 04 when he bled like fucking insanely He bled so much. I have no words to describe it. Never seen that match, or if you weren't alive, I don't know. But watch Eddie Guerrero at Judgment Day '04. Holy fucking shit. I never seen a wrestler before or since bleed that much. Ever. I would say my top 3 wrestlers I've ever seen lose the most amount of blood. Eddie Guerrero, Judgment Day '04. Chris Jericho in Smoky Mountain Wrestling with the Thrill Seekers in a tag match in, I believe, '94. Or not, I think it's '94 or '95. Anyways, Jericho lost a lot of fucking blood in Smoky Mountain, and he had a cast on his arm also. The third wrestler I saw lose the most amount of blood, probably John Cena at Judgment Day '05. He lost a ton of blood versus JBL. But my God, MJF lost a lot of blood tonight. They went to war. This was a war. This was a match of the night. This is definitely a match of the year in professional wrestling. MJF, Bryan Danielson tore it up, tore the house down, went balls to the wall, blew the roof off the Cow Palace. It was great. A great AEW main event. I would have to say the best main event they ever put on pay-per-view so far in their short history. It was awesome. MJF, Bryan Danielson. It went the hour draw. They said it's a draw, so MJF retains. MJF started getting oxygen. Then Tony Khan informed Tony Schiavone on commentary, go tell the ring announcer and the ref, we're going to have OT, sudden death, overtime. So then we go to OT. The match went an hour, 5 minutes. In overtime, MJF wins by cheating, hits Bryan with the oxygen tank, hits Bryan with it. When MJF was on the floor, he hit Bryan with the tank. Bryan's out cold. He locks on the yes lock, LaBelle lock on Bryan in the ring. Bryan's passed out, drops his arm twice. Third time, lifts his arm's up. Crowd goes insane, chanting yes, yes, yes. Then Bryan is fading like he's going to pass out again, but then, sadly, he taps out. I don't think he would have tapped if he did not get hit with the tank. But anyways, the ref didn't see that. I guess if the ref saw it, MJF would have been disqualified and Bryan would have won the title by disqualification. And that would have been stupid. Or a ton of MJF fans would have been pissed if he lost the title by disqualification. But it's possible he could have. But anyways, MJF retains in overtime. 1 hour and 5 minutes and 20 seconds. That Iron Man match, main event, MJF, Bryan Danielson put on. It was so good. My grade for AEW Revolution, A+. A+. Every match was good. The only match I kind of wasn't into that much was Samoa Joe Wardlow, because I had to go downstairs and get food. So I missed a lot of it, but whatever. Every other match I thought delivered. We had 2 unexpected title changes. New champ, new TNT champ. And man, I really wish Bryan would have won the world title, but he came up short because, again, MJF had to cheat and use a fucking oxygen tank when he was on the floor. But that's what you got to do as a heel. You got to win by any means necessary to try to retain. I would love to see a rematch between Bryan and MJF. Maybe in a steel cage or steel cage match or something at Double or Nothing. This can't be the last match between MJF and Bryan. This match was too good. So MJF retains. Again, I give Revolution A plus or A minus. I'll say A minus. Yeah, I'll give it an A minus. What's your grade for AEW Revolution? Did you watch it or did you not? Like, comment, share, subscribe. Bye for now, everybody.